The Joe Rogan Experience.
I think it's important to have fairness, and this is why I'm so pro USADA. I love what they're doing. I love the fact that they're testing the shit out of people. They're just showing up at people's houses 6 o'clock in the morning. Hey, wake up! Time for a test.
But is it the same in every country?
That's a good question. It's a very good question, right? If someone's training in Russia or Germany or wherever, that's a very good question. I do not know the answer to that.
Because I know that's kind of one of the concerns for some of the athletes that, it might be really strict here in the States, but in other states, is it as strict? You know?
Right, because it is U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. That's USADA. Yeah. That's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think? You don't think it is?
I don't know.
I'll talk for you. If there's something fucked up you need to say, just go like this.
I don't know. I guess I can only be concerned with what's under my control. And so then I'm just going to train, and I'm going to get as good as I can get, and hopefully, USADA can take care of the rest. But for me to stress about it is just time wasted, I think, for myself.
Well, I do know of a case where there was a fighter who told me that there was a guy who was openly dirty as far as what everybody knew. And he knew that he was going to piss hot, so he went and did some seminars in another country. And just stayed over in another country and just moved around. It's like, so you see this world-class fighter in these weird little gyms, and everyone's like, what is going on over there? And the gentleman who told me said, listen, man, he's ducking drug tests. That's what he's doing over there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Look, for sure. Like, when a guy like TJ Dillashaw gets popped, and you're like, wow, TJ, for a world title, he's getting popped? Like, how many people are getting away with this? How many people got away with this?
It's just not worth it. He lost a lot doing that, what he did.
Oh, yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Ultimately, it's definitely not worth it because his legacy's tainted. But if he got away with it, is it worth it? I mean, how many people got away with it? Here's the question. How many people retired and we never got to see their drug tests from 2006, 2008? Like, what were you taking? What were you on? Like, back when they used to have those silly weight drug tests where they would test you at the weigh-ins, which is basically like an intelligence test. Like, hey, you still taking steroids? Or did you stop a couple of weeks ago? And the testing today is so much more sophisticated. That's why people are getting popped for EPO and a bunch of things that were hard to find.
Yeah.
The thresholds. Like, this is the John Jones thing with the picograms. What the insignificant amount in terms of like the performance enhancing aspect of it that is in his system. Like, how can they detect that? Well, they can detect that because the machines are way more sophisticated. The drug testing's way like if John Jones had tested 2 years ago, he would have tested clean.
Yeah.
But now it's just they're just way better at detect even something.
The smallest.
Yeah, even if you're taking creatine and that creatine is tainted.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of what these guys. Tim Means, that was his deal. He was taking a supplement that was tainted. Quite a few guys have legitimately just taken over-the-counter supplements that they thought were clean, and they got something, just some tiny that doesn't have any effect on their performance, but it shows up, and it'll show up for months and weeks, and in John's case, like years. It's been showing up for like a year and a half. It comes on and off. And when you're cutting weight, that's when it seems to come back. That's when it seems to show because your body's...
All the water's gone?
You're losing fat. You're losing body weight. Some of it's stored in fat, they think. It's very confusing for them. They're trying to figure it all out. And then all these fucking people online are ranting and raving about picograms and this, and like the science experts, and they think it's all bullshit that John's allowed to fight. He should be banned for life. And like, okay, you're not listening. Like, he tested negative, and then he tested positive a week later. And then he tested negative a week after that. Like, what's happening here? Something weird's happening.
They're still figuring out for themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm glad they're figuring it out.